In this video, we're going to be doing our iron logger package using Dr. Sol corded half soles on this pair of Red Wing, what model number? 81 1D1s. Let's get right to it. So a couple of years ago, we posted a video where I redid a pair of Iron Rangers and came up with this package idea that we dubbed the Iron Logger, because we gave the heel a little bit of a logger shape and we beefed up some of the internals. We ended up using a Vibram corded sole on that package. We're not able to get this sole anymore. So we're going to be showing you how we're doing the Iron Logger package now, but instead we're using the Dr. Sol sole. So that'll be really cool. I just so happen to have that pair of boots that I rebuilt in that video. And if you're interested and want to see that video, we'll drop a link to that video right in the description for you. But here's the boots. They just came in. They got chewed on by a dog, so I got to fix that somehow. We're not going to do these boots in this video. We're going to be doing a much nicer pair. Let's get right. Okay, so now that we got these things broken all the way down, I want to go over some of the ways that we upgrade this boot a little bit. Just for this package, the logger package, we want to kind of make this thing a little bit more stout and sturdy and give it a little bit of support. One of the ways that we do this is by replacing the old heel seats, which are a fiberboard heel seat, with an all leather heel seat. The second way is that when we welt it, we add this little canvas ribbing into the shank area here to give it a little bit of sideways support there. We do change the metal shank out from a kind of flat shank to this one that's got a little bit more arch to it, and we put a thick leather shank cover over top of that. All right, now you know what we're gonna do. Let's do it. Okay, so the first step in rebuilding these is getting new welts on them. I'm gonna get them over to my coworker Praveer, and he'll get them welted up for us. Okay, one more thing before we get started is I want to talk about this little piece of reinforcement canvas that we're going to add to the shank area. Red Wing boots are Goodyear welted. That's one of the things that we love about them. It makes them easier to recraft. And what a Goodyear welt is the upper and the liner come down and are held to the footbed by this piece of canvas that goes around it. The problem is, over time with sweat and everything, that glue between that canvas and that footbed can let go, especially in this arch area. So we're going to add this little piece of canvas across there, basically extend that gemming from one side to the other, and that way if it breaks loose, it doesn't have any room to go sideways.
Hold on. Before Praveer starts putting those back together for Tobias, I want to talk to you about our sponsor for today's video, Red Wing of Winston Salem. Wyatt & Dad Cobbler Company has been working with Red Wing of Winston Salem for over 30 years. Now, if you've seen many of our videos, you'll know that we work on Red Wings all the time. We have countless numbers of Iron Rangers sitting on the shelves as we speak. Not just Iron Rangers, but Beckmans and Blacksmiths and Machtos, you name it. If it's a heritage Red Wing boot, it's in the shop at any given point in time. That's why we're excited that we've partnered with Red Wing of Winston-Salem to offer a special discount for our viewers. Red Wing of Winston-Salem is offering 10% off of all of their heritage line boots from now until January 31st of 2025. That means if you want a pair of Iron Rangers, you get it 10% off. If you want a pair of Blacksmith, 10% off. Machtos, 10% off. Any of the heritage line boots, you can call the Winston-Salem location on the phone. They'll get your size, they'll get your order, they'll ship them to you, or we're also offering another 10% discount on top of that. So what does that mean? You can do one of two different things. You can either order a brand new pair of Red Wing heritage boots from Red Wing Winston-Salem and have those shipped straight to you, or you could have them customized by Wyatt and Dad Cobbler Company for another 10% off. You order your boots from Red Wing Winston-Salem, you have those shipped over to us, saving you on both lines of shipping, and then Tony Wyatt will reach out to you and make sure that you get the recraft that you want, and maybe you'll even see that boot recrafted in a future video. We're really excited to partner with Red Wing of Winston-Salem for this exclusive discount that you can get on brand new Red Wing boots and on a pair of customized boots just for you. I hope you guys check them out. Now, let's get back to that recraft.
So now we get the question a lot of the times, why am I replacing the welt, especially on a new boot? The biggest reason is because when I go to restitch a used welt, the machine doesn't always hit the same holes, and it can make the stitching on the welt look really bad. So on a high-end recraft like this, we're not going to take any shortcuts. We're going to go ahead and replace that welt so you get nice clean stitching all the way around.
But apparently it does.
So I like to do my shank area in a couple of layers. You saw that we put that canvas reinforcement piece in there, and I did one single layer of cork, and then we're going to put our metal shank right down onto that, and then we'll put our thick leather shank cover over top of that. We're replacing the shank. The ones that we get have a little bit more of an arch to them, so since we're building up that heel a little bit taller, we're going to want that arch down. We don't want our shank to move at all if it ever comes loose over time, so we're going to go ahead and pop a nail into this shank. It'll clinch and keep this shank in its place. Where did I put that other nail? Just like it was designed for.
Like the lowest rung.
I don't have the last for this boot, so I like to put some shoe trees in there to keep it nice and tight while I'm putting the soles on. I'll line that up nice and centered. I'm going to roll that arch in. Now you can see my arch here has this really big gap into it. Instead of bringing that welt down to that gap, I want to try to bring that sole to that welt. And my favorite way to do that is with a strap. Just lay this strap over top of that arch, put my foot through it, pull that down. And that's going to give you a really nice arch hump with that leather piece in there. It really makes that profile of that boot look really, really good. Good, pretty good. Right there. Sometimes it'll burn the leather a little bit across there because I'm not moving very fast when I go across there. So I use this little rougher tool to kind of rough and make sure that there's no burnt leather right there, otherwise it won't stick very well. There. There's a beautiful shape. Oh, oh, oh. There's my mark.
A master at work.
It's gonna bounce. I was like trying to keep my hand out of your way, but. So even though these are brand new boots, they do get marked up a little bit from our fingers and handling them during the resole process. So I'm going to scrub them down. It'll get this sole nice and wet. We'll wet sand all of this, make it nice and smooth, and just cleaning them will get rid of all these little fingernail marks. So we're going to be using this time Angelus Blue Foam Cleaner. It suds up really well, or foams up just like it says in the name. And it's really gentle. It won't change the color on it. So I'm gonna mix this up with a little bit of water. A little bit more won't hurt. We'll dip my horsehair brush. Let's scrub these boots. The trick when you get leather wet is to get the whole thing wet. Otherwise it'll dry and leave lines. So if you're gonna get it wet, get the whole thing. So here we have it, the completed iron logger package. This time with the Dr. Soul corded sole. And I really love the way that this corded sole from Dr. Soul pops, because it has a whole lot more hemp cording in it, and it really gives that cool texture to the profile. I love it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stick along for the next one.